Have game. Have game audio. Perfect. Think. You're good. All right. A blank notebook, a blank videotape, a blank audio tape. These are your save files. Act 1, Scene 1. Equus Oils. This game is just so pretty to me. I absolutely. A moving truck rumbles softly to itself. Painted on its side are the words Lizette's Antiques. Furniture, glassware, curiosities. An old hound in a straw hat. Both have seen better days. Ooh. Joseph sits between gas pumps in a Queen Anne armchair. His hair is gray, and his glasses darkened. Damn! Did you hear that wreck? Truck full of bottles. I don't know, beer bottles? Whiskey? Lost a tire or something, and I spilled booze and glass all over the interstate. What a mess! I hope they don't come down here looking for anything. We blew a damn fuse, and it's all shut off. Did I hear a dog? What's your dog's name? Her name is Blue. Blue sounds like a sweet old hound. I used to know a dog like that. Hey, here's some jerky for Blue. I made it myself. Didn't turn out too well, but I bet a dog will eat it. Getting late, right? I could feel the sun on my neck. I bet it's just a few feet off the horizon. I got a delivery to make on Dogwood, but I'd rather watch the sunset. Yeah, it's the truth. My brain's autocomplete is really off today. Instead of Lizette, I was like lasagna, and I immediately read that as Joseph's hair was gay. He had rainbow hair, and we were delivering lasagna with a dog. God, that would change the vibe of this game so dramatically already. Yeah, it's the truth. You have to stop and breathe in that road. I bet while you're out driving, you let your eyes wander up the tree line and you just... Well, I bet you're more of a poet than old Joseph. So, where is Dogwood Drive? Listen, you and Blue would have been driving up and down 65 all night. Dogwood Drive's on the other side of, well... To get there, you gotta take the 0. The 0 is a tough route to find, but you can use my computer to look up directions. You'll have to head down into the basement and reset the circuit breaker first. I'll be happy to have those whining lights back up anyway. It's too damn quiet out here. The basement door is back there in the office. Appreciate your help, friend. Oh, and here. Take this lamp. It gets dark. Just head back into the office and you can't miss the stairs. The breaker box will be somewhere on the right side of the room down there. Oh, why can't you fix the lights yourself? Well, it's true, I know the basement pretty well, but last time I got to repair work down there and I crossed the wrong wire and took out half the traffic lights in Elizabethtown. It's that damn electrical company, Consolidated. They plug everything together on one big grid. Too many eggs in the damn basket. So now I'm a little circuit shy, is all. Anyhow, I appreciate your help. Circuit shy.
Anyway, in case you were worried, yes, the gas station is actually just a giant horse. Also, there are people down here, which seems incorrect. A dusty, rusty sign is bolted onto the wall. Sign. These are the rules. Sign. 1. Oops, sign their circuit. She's shy on my circuit till I take out half the lights in Elizabethtown. Sign 1. No open flames near the gasoline. No consumption of beer or spirits on the premises. In case of sudden darkness, do not panic. Relax. Count backwards from 5. Strictly limit time spent in the basement to fewer than 3 minutes of every hour. Emily, Ben, and Bob sit in folding chairs behind a worn card table. Papers, oddly shaped dice, and highway maps cover the table. Conway clears his throat. Have you all seen a breaker box down here? Emily, to Bob. Did you hear something? No, sorry. I was looking at the rules again.
It gets easier as you go. Look, you said you rolled a 5, right? That means you get to pick your marker and move it anywhere on the map.
So it's your turn now, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Where'd you put that 20-sided die?
I don't see it. Did you drop it? Should be easy enough to find. Glows in the dark.
Aha. I found your D20. Conway picks up the glowing 20-sided die and inspects it. The number 5 is facing up. It's just a small piece of plastic, but it has a reassuring, almost comforting weight. Yeah, D&D in the horse gas station basement. He places the object in his jacket pocket. Folding chairs are arranged around a worn card table. The chairs are empty, and the surface of the table is bare. Conway places the 20-sided die on the table. It's a big horse. The gas station is a big horse. What a beautiful game. There it is. Just listen to those lights whine. Yep.
There were some people down in your basement playing some kind of game, but they're gone now.
In the basement? No, I don't think so. Maybe that lamplight was playing tricks on you, huh? Well, strange things happen underground, especially in the dark. So, computer's in the office. You're looking for a Marquez. She knows her way around those roads. She'll get you to the 0. The password is, hang on. I usually just feel it out. Muscle memory, you know? It's kind of long, kind of like a short poem, I think. One of those short poems that just really sums it all up. You'll figure it out.
Remember, kids, the best form of encryption is making all of your passwords a short poem that you don't know. Conway taps a key, waking the computer from its reverie. User. Joseph. Password. The way you talked about the people, it sounded like the next sentence would have been, I took care of them. They're gone now. See you say that, and I think every network security person I've ever met would agree that this password approach is amazing. Yeah, it kind of is. Except for the fact that I'm pretty sure that any of these are correct. The infrastructure of this man's network is psychotic. The stars drop away. It's late. It will only get later. Password accepted.
How's it going in there? Figuring it all out? Ah, sure ya.
Games? Messages. Message 1 is from Donald at hotmac.mail. Message 2 is from accounts at Consolidated Mail. Yeah, I'll read Joseph's email. From accounts Consolidated Mail. Subject, account standing, urgent. Message, Dear Equus Oils, this is an urgent automated message that your account is overdue by more than 14 days. In response, we have switched you to our low reliability Dirty Power Plus plan. Computer, consider making a payment immediately to obviate the need for us to switch you to Sustained Brownout Select. Sincerely, your friends at the Consolidated Power Company. End of message. From Donald at hotmac.mail. Subject, fragments dim of lovely forms. Message, Joseph, I know it's been a while, and I know you're still sore, but there's a whole world in here, and we need your help to unmask it. Yes, the caves are cold and damp, and we are old and lame. Never mind. I can't remember why I even started writing this. I miss those days in the lab, with you and our dear Lula. Maybe you've found your own Xanadu. Well, so have I. It's an adventure game. All emails, letters, etc. are for you. You're not wrong. End of message. Exit message. Address book. Marquez. Marquez residence. 100 Macondo Lane. Head northeast on the 65 and turn left as soon as you see that ugly tree that's always on fire. Look for the barn at the base of the mountain there. You can't miss it. Sure, the caves are cold and dark and we may be senile losers, but what was I saying? You got it? Out there on Macondo somewhere? Right? Yeah, that's it. Hey, look, while you were down there, I loaded that old TV of mine into your truck. I borrowed that thing from Weaver Marquez a number of years ago, and now that the power is all weird over here, I can't pick up anything but static in public access anyway. She was always more of a reader, but maybe she'd want it back at home. It's a nice TV. Games. Games is not real. Games. Games is not real. Games. Conway Conway scratches behind Blue's right ear. How's it going, Blue? How about a treat? Here's some jerky from the gas station attendant. It reminds me a bit of your old man, Ira. He was a good man. Good boss. What do you think of this place? It's odd. I never noticed it driving by.
Sun's gone down. You and Blue better get on that road if you're gonna make your delivery.
Conway gets back on the road. Alright, I believe the actual directions were go northeast on the 65 and then turn left at the burning tree that's always on fire. Yeah, northeast on the 65, turn left as soon as you see the ugly tree that's always on fire. That's how you get to the Marquez farm. So, we will be going a different way. Oh no, right. I can't remember if I can control this. Sec. I want to try something. I think this actually can be well with a controller. Sort of. I know you can find some stuff out here. But we're doing a little bit of it. There it is. Something. A singing chorus echoes from within the church. The building is 1 story tall with a pitched roof, and a 3-story spire rising from the front. The top section of the spire is made of stained glass. An interior light illuminates the pines in red, green, and blue. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Light of the Last Great Awakening Baptist Church. Conway stands and listens to the chorus. The muffled chorus drones at a steady volume, repeating the same 2 verses without rest. Conway approaches the church doors. The front doors of the church are modest and worn. They are locked. Conway walks to the rear of the building. A ramp leads up from a few dusty metal trash cans to the church's back door. Look in the trash cans. Conway opens a few of the trash cans and looks in. One has a bit of something leafy and rotten stuck to the bottom of it. Another is full of unlabeled videotapes. Conway pushes open the back door. He finds himself in a kitchen lit by a buzzing fluorescent ceiling fixture. On the counter are a plate of moldy bread and an empty Dixie cup flecked red around its waxy rim. A set of swinging plastic doors on the far wall lead out of the kitchen. Conway pushes open the plastic doors and walks through. Vacant pews sprawl unevenly into the church. A small raised stage lies to Conway's right, bare except for a tape recorder. The tape recorder's power cord runs to an outlet near Conway's feet. Conway unplugs the tape recorder. The singing stops. The lights fail. And with that, my work here is done. Two shirtless, shoeless men push a light aircraft along the highway. Occasionally, one or the other slips a bit on the sweating asphalt, or stops to pull back his hair. The men are nearly broken. The rubber is almost worn away. Soon, these men will be dragging this airplane. Well, I'll see you guys later. It's his sweating what fault? It's time to go. I've gone back to mouse and keyboard. The controller was so slow. Is there anything in this dead-end drive? Nope. I truly don't know what all is out here. I'm taking the opportunity to explore some of this. I've played this game twice now. This will be my third time. But I feel like I always find at least something new every time I am playing through it, because there is a lot of content just in the cracks and margins. But now I think we getting on. So we go northeast on the 65 until, oh, hey, a burning tree. A tall black oak burns on a hill above the road. I'm gonna go a little past it, because I feel like I have a memory of there being something just past it. Nope, that's gone. That's nothing. Back to the tree. There it is, the Marquez farmhouse. So how was your delivery week? Oh, it was fine. I went to the basement of a horse, interrupted a church choir, watched the Wright brothers doing their thing, you know. Also, time seemed to stop. So, guess we just head up the path here. Farmhouse is up the hill a bit. Keep an eye on the truck, all right? A street lamp lights the base of a dusty path leading up the hill. I love how they do the trees. The diamonds. A family graveyard is set off to the side of the house. Headstones are inscribed with the surnames of the unfortunate: Novakowski, Padilla, Marquez. I was just thinking what a lovely house we have. Do you like it? Have you seen it before? Have you been here before? Did you happen to see an owl? No, I didn't see any owl. I know. I saw it out the window once. Big, ugly thing, all sound and fury. Well, it's gone now. There used to be another house here, but we had it destroyed and we built this one. It was very expensive and we got quite underwater. What do you do for work? Is it too difficult? Or do you like it very much?
I was once a mathematician. Are you looking for something in particular here?
I drive deliveries for a small antique shop.
I believe it's hard times for a small antique shop. It's hard times everywhere, even out here on our little farm. My parents stopped paying the bank a while back. I shouldn't even be here. But I just stayed. I have some notebooks. I'm only a little bored. I might prefer to watch TV occasionally.
The owls are gone now. I took care of it. Actually, I have a TV here that I think belongs to you.
You please set it up. Then I can explain to you how to get where you're going. The Zero. I know.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Of course you know. Why wouldn't you? THX.
That's not how it's supposed to look. You've made a mistake setting it up. Is it a foreign object to you? Which of your parents was it that wouldn't allow you to watch television?
I know how to set up a TV.
Okay. I'm skeptical. You have it all backwards. I'm not surprised. Are you? Have you been paying attention? I don't think that you have. It's time to start paying attention now, Conway. Look closely at the television. Hey, wake up. You spaced out for a minute there.
Picture on the TV.
That TV is picking up the wrong signal. My cousin Shannon would know more about it. She fixes TVs for a living. Well, she used to. I think the new models are giving her some trouble.
So, I just really need to get to the Zero.
Honestly, I'm not convinced you should bother with the Zero. I'd much rather you find my cousin and fix my TV, but I'll get you headed the right way. So it's pretty easy. Get back on the 65 heading north, then take the first right after the artificial limb factory. From there, your arrival at the Zero is basically inevitable. Nice to know you, Conway. Keep your eyes open, especially in the dark.
And she's gone. I took care of it.
Disused wood-burning stove is set up in one ash-dusted corner of the room. It's cold to the touch. An abandoned spider web stretches across the bottom of a saucepan. A skillet is seasoned with dust.
The skillet is seasoned with dust is a great little line. That's exactly why I like this game. It's full of so many great little lines like that, like little bits of resonant things. I love it. It's so cool. I just met the strangest lady. She kind of creeped me out, Blue. But that's not her fault, I guess. Some folks are just like that. Conway is ready to leave. A sign in front of the building just reads, Museum. The lights are off, but the front door is open. Conway steps through the museum's doors. A few feet inside the museum's doors, the ambient sound of the highway drops sharply away. The room is cold, dark, and still. A book lies open on a table in the center of the room. An open hallway extends to the left. Large glass doors bar the path ahead. Look at the book. Conway looks at the book. There's no title on the book's spine or cover. A 3-word phrase written in pencil on the first page is smudged and indecipherable. On the first page, someone has left an ink drawing of a horse. Several dozen blank pages later, at the end of the book, it is an elaborate ink drawing of a one-legged man working an antique adding machine surrounded by whiskey bottles. Walk to the hallway. Conway walks down the hallway to the left. Conway's steps echo against the hallway's marble floor and arched ceilings. Plexiglass boxes line the walls. The hallway dead ends on a darkened display case. Conway examines the boxes on the walls. The first box, just a few feet into the hall, contains an assortment of bird wings. Some are missing feathers. One large, brightly colored wing almost glows in the moonlight. Its feathers are intact, but a piece of bone pokes outwardly from the tip, awkwardly out from the tip. Conway examines the darkened display case. The display case is several yards wide, but just a few feet off the ground. It's unlit, and back in this corner of the darkened museum, very little moonlight creeps in. A gold-plated plaque on the surface of the case is a bit easier to read. It recounts a short history of fowl hunting in the region, and then speculates abruptly about the nature of addiction. Conway returns to the entrance. Conway walks through the glass doors. The glass doors won't budge. To apply any more force would likely break them. Yeah, fuck it. Conway applies more force to the doors. The glass shatters. Somewhere ahead, a light switches on. After a moment, it switches off. The room is dark again, and the floor is covered in broken glass. Conway walks through the broken glass doors. Broken glass grinds under Conway's boots as he walks down the hall. He has the feeling of being in a larger space. Very little light reaches the far end of the hallway. Feel the walls. I want to feel the floor. It's covered in broken fucking glass. Conway runs his hands along the walls. The walls are completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. Conway kneels and runs his hands along the floor. The floor is completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. I'm gonna go now, I think. I'm gonna go. Bye, museum. Conway pulls into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road, on a thin steel bar, a handwritten sign reads, "Live bait, minnows, small and also large for stripers, night crawlers, chips and beer." A green flyer hangs loosely from a bit of masking tape at eye level. The shop's right, a dirty parking lot sprawls unevenly into grass and then eventually trees. The bait shop is open. Conway reads the flyer. Computer-printed type in a bold font surrounds a clip art illustration of a TV set. The TV has eyes, arms, and legs. Its shoulders are slouched. On the screen is a cartoon expression of exhausted nausea. A hot water bottle rests against its wire antenna. TV repair, no model too old, inquire within. We do not sell digital converter boxes. Conway enters the bait shop. Narrow aisles crowded with lures, reels, rods, and snacks divide the shop lengthwise from the entrance to the cashier's counter. The left wall is lined with churning tanks of water. Conway approaches the tanks. The 3 metal tanks aren't labeled, and the water is too agitated to get a clear view of what's inside each one. The contents of the first tank are vaguely gray. The second is a muddy pink. The third is clear, but shiny silver flecks occasionally flash along the surface. Reach into the third tank. Conway reaches into the third tank. The water seems to tremble with life. Conway can't tell if his hand is being nibbled by fish or massaged by the artificial current. As his eyes near the surface of the water, he can see something colorful glowing faintly at the bottom of the tank. Reach deeper. Conway reaches deeper into the tank. A tremor spreads from his elbow to his fingertips and up to the base of his shoulder. His vision flickers. The water is running warm under his skin now, and he has the sensation that something is about to snap. His eyes close. Hey, I know that guy from Hazbin. He lays on a rooftop, new shingles rough beneath his back, swelling in the noon sun. He is exhausted. They must have started before dawn. His legs are sore from holding the stable on the uneven surface, his wrists from breaking old sealant, his fingers from carefully lifting shingles to hammer down new ones. His boss, Ira, yells from the idling truck below. He shades his eyes with his hand. A beer would be good. It's barely past noon, but he's worked a full day already. What could the harm be? Maybe a shot at the counter, just to get his eyes open, then a beer. He could offer to drive into town for lunch and stop at that place on Cumberland. The cashier pushes Conway roughly on the shoulder. He's been talking, yelling maybe, but it's all an echo now. Conway looks up, his neck stiff with pain, his right palm still tingling. The cashier points to the tank, and then above it to holes torn in the wall, nail holes from which an electric sign has come dislodged and fallen into the water. He helps Conway to his feet, looks at him pitifully, and returns to the cash register. Narrow aisles crowded with fluid. Can I just reach into more tanks? Hell yeah, I can. Let's just keep going arm deep into fucking tanks. Conway reaches into the second tank. Conway's fingers slip through something fleshy but inert. The sensation is nauseating. Conway reaches deeper into the tank. As his elbow passes into the pinkish mass, he realizes he's about to be sick from the smell and pulls away. Reach into the first tank. Conway reaches into the first tank. Conway's hand brushes against something roughly the size of his palm. Conway reaches deeper into the tank. Conway's hand comes into contact with a scaly, uneven surface. As he runs his fingers along the bottom, a bead of sweat bridges the inches from his temple to the water's surface. Something bites at his forearm. He recoils. Conway approaches the counter. A wiry cashier stands behind the register, preoccupied with a Sudoku puzzle. Ask about the basketball game. Conway asks about the basketball game. The cashier switches on the radio. An AM sports broadcast is playing, but Conway can't be sure if it's meant to answer or to drown out his questions. Ask about Shannon Marquez's workshop. Conway asks about Shannon Marquez's workshop. A handwritten sign on the door behind the counter reads, "TV repairs by appointment. Please consult with cashier." The cashier knocks a few times on the door and waits, occasionally glancing at his puzzle. After a few moments with no answer, he notices a smaller note written on the sign, reads it, and then points it out to Conway. Conway reads the note on the workshop door.
Weaver, I got your message. Have left for the old mine. Don't know if I will see you there or what. Ready either way.
Well, on the road again. Conway drives away. A creek runs alongside the highway and then turns towards a dirty brick building. A grinding drone from within the building is faintly audible from the interstate. Floodlights on the lawn illuminate smokestacks. At the edge of the building's parking lot, a large sign, partly obscured by trees, reads Artificial Limb Factory. She said turn right at the limb factory. Oh. Oh, yeah, there we go. On-ramp? Question mark? Act 1, Scene 3. Elkhorn Valley. Conway brushes some dirt off Blue's hat. How's it going, Blue? Huh. Not sure that lady was right about the on-ramp to the Zero being here. I guess you just can't tell with some folks. They're liable to run you around just for kicks. Should we look around? Or get back on the road? I don't know. Let's look around. The dog's all skin and bones. Act 1, Scene 4. Elkhorn Mine. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear.
Yeah, it's kind of an emergency.
Inaudible.
But can I trust him not to just change the locks?
Inaudible.
Yes, and I appreciate that, but... Forget it. Bye.
Shannon hangs up the phone and puts it away. Excuse me, ma'am. I saw the light was on, and I'm looking for the on-ramp to...
Are you here to kick me off the property?
Oh, no. I guess you don't belong here either, do you?
Do you work for the power company?
Power company? Oh, no. I once worked for an electrician for a few weeks, but I sort of drifted on before I really learned anything.
I get it. You're a nomad.
I'm gonna call a dude I met a second ago a drunk. Well, I do drive a lot. Just me on the road mostly when the sun is out.
Is that your job? Driving?
Here's what it is. I drive deliveries for a shop called Lizette's Antiques, and I'm out trying to finish this job.
You're making a delivery to the mine?
Oh, no. I have a delivery for 5 Dogwood Drive, and I can't remember ever seeing that address before. Now I heard I need to take a highway called the Zero. So I met this young lady named Weaver Marquez, and she sent me this way. And so, here I am. Uncommon kind of place for an on-ramp, but that's what it's been like so far anyway with...
What?
The Zero. Is that around here?
I've never heard of the damned Zero. That doesn't sound like a real highway, but I know Weaver. I've known her all my life. She's my cousin. I'm Shannon Marquez. Weaver doesn't lie. One time when we were younger, she told me my dad had been in a terrible car wreck. There was crushed metal everywhere, and we'd be hearing it echo through the house for years, she said. I was very upset, crying. And then my dad walked in the door. Just come back from a trip to the junkyard, collecting scrap metal to fashion into wind chimes. I was angry, but she said it wasn't a joke, and it wasn't a lie. At the time, I thought she meant it as a riddle or a puzzle. But Weaver's not a puzzle. She's a mystery.
So maybe the Zero is down here somewhere?
Maybe it is. Well, I won't mind the company. I've got business down here myself. I talked to Weaver earlier this evening, too. Or, anyway, she talked to me. It's hard to tell if she's listening, sometimes. Weaver told me I had to come down here to the old Elkhorn mine. She said I'd find something I'd been looking for.
What are you looking for?
I'm not exactly sure. I have a few ideas. I'll know when I see it. It's not such a bad thing, you showing up now. All told, I'd rather not go down there alone. Your dog should stay up here, though. It's no place for a dog. This is an old mine. It runs pretty deep and tangled. If we're gonna go down into it, find your on-ramp and whatever else, we've got to keep our bearings. I don't want to get turned around. I've got some gear here to measure conductivity, frequency response, stuff like that. Maybe we can find a way to put a signal out ahead, do some analysis, and figure out what kind of topology you're up against.
Sure. Let's look around. No work tomorrow. All right. We're gonna pause it right here for a second. And we are going to run our 3-minute ad break as it is about that time. So grab a drink, use the restroom. We will get back to exploring this weird fucking mine in 3 minutes. See y'all in a few. I like game. The vibes are great. I'll talk about it at the end of the stream. But for those of you who are going to be around tomorrow, I'm going to be guesting on the Diet Elf stream at noon Central. So 10 Eastern, 1 Pacific. So if you guys want to drop by and hang out, you're certainly welcome and invited. But I will be over there, and she's a great streamer, been a friend of mine since fucking middle school. So yeah, gonna be hanging out and chatting about something or another, I think. Don't know what, but we'll play it by ear. I'm fucking exhausted this weekend. This been?
All right. Welcome in, Scoop. Happy to have you here. I think you just got back for the end of our ad break. We finished Norco in 15 minutes, and now have moved on to Kentucky Route Zero. I decided to treat myself. I like this game very much. Dinner is calling, I must go. Thanks for dropping by, Pegasus Bat Spider. I hope you have a lovely dinner.
That runs into the mine's PA system. Do you think it still works?
A little light on the front of it is off.
Oh, there's no power. Yeah, okay. Even when this old mine was up and running, it was tricky to keep stuff powered. You know, the miners used to have to pay just to run the fans and the lights. Yeah, they got paid in these shitty plastic tokens. Coal scrip, you know? And if you want to run the fans for a bit to clear the air up, well, you have to put a token in. My parents used to work here. So did Weaver's parents. I guess a lot of folks' parents worked here.
We powered up?
I believe we just have to free up some of the power for the PA system. Everything is rationed. Here, set up that lamp of yours. I'll go unplug the ceiling lights.
Conway fidgets with the change in his pocket.
I heard the speakers back there crack a little bit. It's on now, right? Try saying something into the mouthpiece.
Well...
Okay, I hear you. We need to measure the echo delay time and figure out how deep the tunnels run. Just make some noises into the mouthpiece.
Conway taps the mouthpiece. Conway hums a deep tone into the mouthpiece. Conway blows on the mouthpiece.
Damn, that's a long delay. These tunnels run deep. I bet some of them have ruptured or joined up with a cave system. All right. I set up my spectrum analyzer, so just say something into the mouthpiece and we can get a sense for how narrow the mine tunnels are. Don't be shy. Just say anything that comes into your head. Tell me a story about something, or what did you have for breakfast today?
I had breakfast with Lizette. I just had coffee. We talked about the day's work. Then I loaded the truck.
Got it. Looks like the tunnels are pretty cramped. Yeah, low ceilings. Hope you're ready to stoop a bit. You're probably used to it. One more test. We just need to know if the air is breathable or if it's too thin or too dense. Just sit real close to the mouthpiece and breathe. I'll measure the resonance of your breath with the air in the tunnels. Just try to relax. Try to breathe naturally.
Conway breathes and thinks about the road. Conway breathes and remembers a moment earlier in the day.
Getting some pretty strong readings here. I think we're in good shape, but keep at it for a minute.
Conway breathes and visualizes a hot meal. Conway breathes and relaxes
as a peal of feedback and loose rock engulfs him.
Act 1, Scene 5. Elkhorn Mine.
Jesus, are you all right? What the hell?
I'm okay.
I've got you. You're all right. Shit, your leg is pinned. I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Okay. Are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that leg?
It's all messed up.
Here, let's get you on the tram. There you go. Now, let's see if this thing has power. Well, okay, there's some luck, right? We should be able to ride this tram right out of the auxiliary exits. If there are any. I think there are.
I can walk.
No way. You need to stay off that leg or you'll just do more damage. We'll just find the exit and then figure out what to do from there. That's our first priority. So, the controls are over on your side. Let's get moving. Oh, here we are. This may be hard to believe. It's hard for me to believe myself. But this whole branch was underwater last I heard.
How'd that happen?
Some careless miner or some unattended machine bored through into an underground lake. The water came in pretty fast and a lot of folks got trapped in the tunnels. I only heard parts of how it went from there, sanitized for the bereaved. You know how these big companies are. But there was gossip, too. Trapped miners couldn't get the pumps going because the power was rationed, so they shut all the lights off. But even then, it wasn't enough. So I guess it was dark when they...
You lost some people down here, didn't you?
We all lost people down here. Well, not all of us. But most of us. It doesn't matter now. Look, this old turntable is still wired up. The controls are dead, but I can use my signal generator to switch tracks. If the water hasn't damaged it too much. Or we can just keep heading down this tunnel. All this junk hanging around the turntables is from the company store. Just junk, you know? The miners would buy it and use it to decorate the place, or as landmarks, I guess. Hard to know which way is which down here. It's all so dim and gray.
Shannon connects 2 clip leads from her signal generator to the turntable's electrical panel.
We're on the track between the animal bones and the rowboat, so...
Shannon disconnects the signal generator. I'm gonna go down this one before I rotate it. If you turn your light off, you can see the ghosts of the miners show up in between the things. Can I examine that at all? Interact with that in any meaningful way? No? Oh. Oh, that's just straight up the exit. No. Go back, go back, go back. I want to explore the cave.
Pendulum in the casket. It's almost totally intact. I thought it would have been destroyed.
What is this place?
It's a recording studio, basically. Kind of thrown together, but... When this mine was active, a couple of folk music archivists spent time here recording the miners' songs. Really academic ivory tower types. None of the miners really talked to them much. So they stayed at the margins, observed, took notes, and then sometimes they'd get someone on a lunch break to sing into their microphone. Then I guess the power company got some kind of interest in the project and gave the archivists some coal script tokens to pay the miners with for their songs.
What do you think those archivists were after?
Data, I guess? Comparing intonation, subject matter, diction. You know, all those little details that no one really thinks about when they listen to music. Yeah, academics are great at that stuff. Let's get out of here.
Don't you love the noise of shrieking machinery? A dusty reel-to-reel tape player is stashed beneath the track, loaded with tape but starved for power. Oh, I didn't know those are still down here.
What was that?
Look, there's a tape player down there, one of those old reel-to-reel setup. They'd record it up on that old scaffolding we saw, and I guess they'd then sequester themselves down here to listen to the recorded songs.
What happened to the archivists?
They got out. When the flood came, they left.
Bummer. I do love turning off the light so that you can hear the haunting nightmare refrain. I feel like you could have turned it the other way, Shannon, and we wouldn't have had to go all the way the fuck around.
You hear that? Kind of a muffled rumbling?
Maybe we're near the surface.
Yeah, sounds kind of like a highway. Wonder why they stopped digging so abruptly here. Maybe they hit a pipe or something.
I love that the townhouses next door decided that my stream was the best time to leaf blower and the roof and use hammers. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's not distracting at all.
The tracks are all messed up here. This tram isn't going anywhere further. I wonder what's down that tunnel.
Well, we'll never know. Alright, we need animal bones and rowboat. Oh, sure, that time you turn it like a normal fucking person. Conway's so white.
Thank God. Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay. That tunnel, where the tracks were broken, I'd like to take a look down there. If you wait for me here, I'll just go take another look around.
All right, sure. I'll be right here.
Oh, I don't think I've ever actually done Shannon on this part. I think I always stay with Conway. This is not familiar to me. Basically a cairn of mining helmets. How did the car get over here? Because we're on the other side of the mine. Unless that mine just went in like a little loop.
The cramped shack is lined with wooden shelves. Dusty stacks of tape reels and notebooks crowd the room, but a bit of moonlight filters through a window near the ceiling. Magikarp. Yeah. On a small desk in the middle of the room lay 3 notebooks. The red one is labeled J. Marquez, the green one is labeled R. Marquez, and the blue one is unlabeled. Conway opens the red notebook. The pages are covered in disorganized notes, some written horizontally and others scribbled vertically into the margins. A few pages are lined even more evenly and divided up into charts correlating seasons, lyrics, harmonies, and coal hauls. Conway opens the green notebook. On each page is a delicately rendered charcoal drawing. Most are portraits of rugged faces. Near the middle of the book, there are a few drawings of a young girl in a miner's helmet. She plays along the minecart tracks, collecting pieces of wire. In one drawing, another young girl sits nearby, intently studying a book. Conway opens the blue notebook. The notebook is full of Greek letters and cryptic mathematical formulas. Near the back of the book, what first looks like it might be... Oh, yeah, this place. These notebooks are labeled Marquez. Your parents are the archivists? No. Weaver's parents are the archivists. My parents were miners. How's the leg? I can walk on it, but it's painful. Oh, I've got some painkillers here that could help you out. I got them from a friend when I sprained my wrist installing a security system. You better let me drive, though. They're pretty strong. Yeah, maybe that's best. Don't worry. I've been driving since I was 9. I still need to find the Zero. Well, like I told you, Weaver doesn't lie. If she sent you here to find your on-ramp, this is where you should be looking. Or maybe you just weren't listening closely enough, and that's not exactly what she said. I saw a Weaver at my workshop. That's up north by Lake Nolan, right at Wax and Peonia, in the back of the bait shop. Pretty glamorous, right? These are the times we live in. She's either up there or back at the farmhouse. Whichever you want to head to first, just let me know. He's so fucking slow with his shitty leg. Lizette's Antiques. I guess this is your truck? This is my truck. Blue, this is Shannon. Nice to meet you, Blue. I've got some dried banana slices in my bag. Would you like one? Take care of your friend here. There's more where that came from. Conway moves on. go to the bait shop first. A young man in gray-stained clothes sits by the side of the road. He is playing a worn guitar. To his left is a blue mug, and to his right, a weathered dog. Conway stands and listens. The young man strums absently on the guitar, hums tunelessly, and occasionally mumbles a word. Conway pulls a wrinkled dollar bill from his back pocket and puts it in the young man's cup. The young man stops playing, pulls the wet dollar bill out of his whiskey, and hands it back to Conway. Just put $1 in his fucking drink. Conway and Shannon pull into the bait shop parking lot. We already read that. Enter the side door to Shannon's workshop. Conway and Shannon walk around to the side of the building in the workshop. The walls are lined with cheap metal shelves, loaded precariously with vacuum tubes, awkwardly shaped metal casings, and coffee cans full of electronic components. Shannon leads Conway to the back of the room, where a few TV sets in various states of disassembly are set up on a rough wooden table. She flips the switch on the power strip they're all plugged into, and the TV sets tremble to life. Conway asks Shannon where she saw Weaver. Shannon points to a small security monitor on the table. The image on the screen is just black, but it seems to be fading slowly, almost imperceptibly between different shades of black. Shannon tweaks a few knobs on the side of the monitor, but the picture doesn't change. Conway stares directly at the security monitor. The screen is a cavernous black. It hums and swells at the pace of the tide. Conway loses track of the workshop's walls. They could be inches away, or miles. He is adrift on black water, traveling swiftly towards a rocky shore. There should be a lighthouse or buoy by these rocks. It's too dangerous. Shannon switches off the power strip. Weaver is not here. To see if Shannon had anything to say about the artificial limb factory. She did not. Act 1, Scene 6. Marquez Farmhouse. Regrettably, we must deal with Conway's incredibly slow walk. I do like the really lanky dog just kind of prowling around. Conway, why did you stop? Okay. Oh, I guess Shannon had to catch up to start doing it. Sometimes you get crushed in a cave-in. There's nobody buried here, you know. It's decorative, I guess. Or it's art or something, I don't know. What are the names on the headstones? Novakowski, Padilla. I don't know those names. Maybe the people who lived here before? I know when they bought this property, it already had a house and everything. Or maybe it had some other symbolic meaning. Oh, look at that headstone. Marquez. I used to think it was from my parents. Now, I don't know.
Hey, hear the owl. The owl's back.
So this is where she was. Yeah, makes sense. This was where Weaver and her parents lived. They took out a bunch of loans, you know, and had this place built. You have any debts?
I owe some people some apologies.
Well, you're lucky that's all you owe. My parents were like that, until the company store found a way to get to them. For my dad, it was tokens to run the fans and air purifiers, and for my mom, it was canaries. Two solutions to the same problem, but they sure sounded different. Weaver had debt, too. A lot of it. All tuition.
She said she was a mathematician or something.
Yeah. She studied some esoteric stuff about something about using math to translate between Spanish and English. I think eventually Weaver put those math skills to work on all the red numbers in the family checkbook and got a clear sense of just how helpless their situation was. So she left. I guess she just drove away in the middle of the night. They woke up in the morning and the car was gone. Never came back. Until tonight.
They seem really focused on that old TV.
Oh, that's not something you see every day. That old TV right there? Well, that is a damned antique for you. I had a model like that in the shop once, but I had to sell it off to make rent. Most painful decision I ever made. Say, do you mind if I open it up? Looks like the dials are all corroded, and the screen is leaking light a bit. Come on. I bet Lizette would never forgive you for letting a specimen like that fall into disrepair. Oh yeah, these tubes are all messed up. Looks like they've been in a swamp or cave or something. There's moss growing on this one. That's okay. I have a few spares in my bag here. Here, I pulled this one out of an old computer monitor. Just needs to be recalibrated a bit. Okay, that should be seeing something now. Are you seeing anything?
A little bit to the left.
Damn, okay. Here, I think the contacts are dirty. Now, don't go telling my customers I clean off old vacuum tubes with spit. There. Just gotta turn it north-south, and...
It is. The root. The zero. End of Act 1. I think we might just have time to do the interstitial between Act 1 and 2. Limits and demonstration. So there's 5 acts to this, and between every act is a little interstitial of things. 3 of them are quite good, and 1 of them is long. Good Christian woman. Long is how I would describe it.
These were the three people who were playing D&D in the basement. Wall text. Limits and demonstrations. Alula Chamberlain retrospective. Marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years, this retrospective exhibition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain comprises a diagonal slice through time, place, and form. The pieces on display here were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed in Chamberlain's various homes and studios between her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. They represent a range of scale and impact from the intimate warmth of Vertex Texture Fetch to the infamous Visage, the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yet these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. Galleries and museums balked at the scale, power requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. And so, just as they describe the outer limits of Chamberlain's range as an installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant home life, and the beginning and end of her distinguished career, the works on display here are also trace the extremes of our capabilities and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Do we even want to be? Basement puzzle number 2. Artist, Sunset, and Horse. 1976. Plaster and Wire.
What do you think she means by puzzle?
Yeah, weird. I guess it's something you can solve?
They must be symbols. Artist, sunset, horse. Or it's an anagram. Or like a code. Maybe it's not a puzzle. It's just about a puzzle.
Maybe it's a puzzle, but there's no right answer. That's kind of sad. Title card. Overdubbed Nam June Pike installation in the style of Edward Packard. 1965, 1973, 1980. Magnetic tape. Handheld tape playback head, speaker system, voice of the artist, computer synthesized speech. Oh, I read about this one. It's interactive.
How does it work? It's just a bunch of old tape, and you run this tape playback head along it, and just listen to the recordings, I guess.
Let's try it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers.
We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I am in the office. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang open. The door is ajar. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punch cards on the floor.
A synthetic voice recording spliced awkwardly into the tape lists out options in monotone. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape.
Encoded in the holes punched through these cards is a first draft of the poetic subsystem. I can't read punched cards by sight. Donald can, I think. Anyway, this version was pretty underwhelming.
To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape.
So loud. I love it. I am now holding 2 punched cards. On one of them, Joseph has scribbled on a note. Caves. The other is blank.
To insert Caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, Rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches.
We're on a dirt trail in the park. Or, well, it's not really a trail.
It's a trail.
It's more like a tendency. There tend to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking.
Walking sounds.
Now we're walking at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to mossy rock as the ground sinks into darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope down into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I.
To enter the cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. That's the only choice? Yeah, that's the end of that one. So 65, 4 inches.
That's the last trip, so everything's down here now.
The final resting place. Don't be so morbid.
To remember a fond gesture,
Rotate 180 degrees and advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches.
It's late morning now. I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows. I've been recording on this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened. So, here's a story. The first time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years, and I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald in the whole time. They each thought I'd done it to spite them. Maybe I had, in part. But I don't think they'd ever appreciated the community I had in Mexico, or... Anyway, when I came back, I didn't call them or visit university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him that it hadn't occurred to me. So I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I eat. I guess we should stop then.
Do you feel done? I don't.
Is there anything else we can do here?
No, that's the end of this tape string.
I don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over there?
I won't tell a soul.
I won't tell a soul.
Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape.
Think of our work, our research.
You'll die in these damn cold caves, and what about those men? You know they'll come back.
We'll go deeper, that's all. They'll never find us.
Did you hear their voices? They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface.
Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right, we can't stay here. I'm leaving too. I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon and I'm heading down to the Zero.
You'll be lost forever!
But we need your voice for the machine, Lula. It only recognizes your voice. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damn machine does with it.
Oh. Visage, 1984. Unknown media.
What is that made of?
It's a mystery. Looks like ribbon, bandages. Oh, have you seen The Invisible Man? It's... Slice a visage to build a visage. A puzzle to its owner. What? It's a poem I read. I think it was written by a computer.
Sounds like it. It's amazing.
Vertex texture fetch, tree, television, and suspended cathode ray tube. This one's so loud.
Bob, this seems like your kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, I love this one. So domestic, but so weird. Guess I'm just really into weird domestic these days.
Spinning coin, suspended. Correcting for angular motion, 1976. Found materials. Feels so strangely alive.
Yeah, like it's about to fall over.
You mean the whole thing's about to fall over?
Yeah, kind of anxious, right? I feel like we startled it, and now there's this uncomfortable pause.
I feel really drawn to it, but
Just makes me nervous. Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go.
yeah, I need to get to work anyway.
And that was the interstitial. But I think I am going to draw things to a close here. I don't think we have enough time to get started on Act 2 in any meaningful way. So let's take a look around. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody that I think I'm gonna throw y'all to a raid for, so I think I will just take this opportunity to say thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that I'm able to spend some time experiencing a game that I really enjoy with all y'all, so hopefully y'all come back for next time we do this. Next week should be, ideally, Pathologic Wednesday and Kentucky Route Zero on Thursday, but we'll see how it goes. And as I said during the ad break, but if you weren't here, I'm going to be on the Diet Elves stream tomorrow at noon Central. I'm trying to find a link to her thing real quick. But if you want to come hang out, she's been a buddy of mine forever, since fucking middle school. So we'll be hanging out, we'll be chatting about stuff. If you're around, feel free to drop by and hang out. And other than that, though, I will say thank you all for coming, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Yeah. Goodbye. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.